We are rewilding. Just imagine the pollinators in decline, the songbirds, who can have breakfast by the mosque, lunch at the synagogue, 4 p.m. tea at the gurdwara, and dinner at the church. Because we connect the sacred grounds. We create islands of sustainability because we are people of faith.
I think what we need to do is replace the concept of humans here and nature someplace else with the idea that we need to share.
I touched one before.
Okay, then you don't really need my help in touching one.
If we share our spaces with other living things, the problem from local extinction will disappear. Our biodiversity will be sustained in the future, and thus we'll have ecosystem function in the future, something that's absolutely necessary.
One of National Wildlife Federation's most important programs is a program called the Gardening for Wildlife program, which gives people an opportunity to create wildlife habitat where they work, live, play, learn, and in this case, what we're going to talk about is where they worship, the Sacred Grounds program. Houses of worship are really a tremendous opportunity for many reasons. One is that they often have large acreage compared to a home, and some of them in the suburban settings can have acres of land. We know that congregations contribute significantly to the negative impact of stormwater runoff because they have large impervious spaces such as the roofs and the parking lots and frankly their big wide lawns. All of that combined is a huge amount of runoff that goes into our rivers and our streams, increasing a lot of pollution. This is actually a problem, but it's also an amazing opportunity. And if we can replace those lawns with native plants and rain gardens and other conservation landscaping, we can help both stormwater and help wildlife.
The Sacred Grounds Initiative is such a logical and appropriate idea because different faiths are united in their notion that God is creator and that we, as one of the creations, need to band together to help protect creation for the glory of the creator.
One of the things that we're doing with Sacred Grounds is we are creating opportunities to train the so-called green sheep of the different congregations. Many congregations have a green team, or they may even just have one person, but they might be able to recruit another person, which then becomes a team, and we're gonna have workshops for them. This is the why you might wanna do it, and the second one is gonna be the nitty-gritty, get your hands dirty workshop. We're gonna teach them what native plants to put in the ground that are best for wildlife. We're gonna teach them about how to prevent stormwater runoff on their property. We're gonna teach them a variety of on-the-ground techniques which will help them create better habitat for wildlife and ultimately people.
And we have to just keep a natural area.
Sacred Grounds is an example of a type of program that we're interested in exploring as a way to get the word out about how to manage stormwater using these decentralized gardens and other tools. Rain gardens reduce and infiltrate. You want to reduce that volume. You want to really take that recycling concept and take the stormwater waste product and turn it into a valuable asset to you. This is free water. Why are we throwing it away? This particular initiative seems to cut across many different types of cultural groups, many types of income strata, and reach out to a non-traditional audience.
The river is a source of life, not only for wildlife, but also for the people that exist around the Anacostia. And so there's a major effort to clean the Anacostia, and a major part of that is cleaning the runoff that occurs because of the rain.
National Wildlife Federation, we have the Sacred Grounds program, which we're really grateful that you want to participate in and be a leader in.
We have a very large property. We toured the entire grounds, and we looked at a number of possibilities.
The rain garden will do a great job of holding the water here and capturing and storing the water and the pollutants longer and not running into the parking lot so then it doesn't run into the Anacostia River.
What kind of plants?
We are a predominantly African-American Baptist church, and in the life of most African-American Baptist churches, much hinges on the vision of the pastor. And I am a pastor who is passionate about the environment.
We are seeking to green our church. Many of you know that we planted a Sacred Grounds garden to attract native species, but also to reduce runoff to the Anacostia River. What I'm trying to say is that climate change is not just about polar bears and the environment, but it's also about people, what happens to people.
There's actually a whole nother area that Sacred Grounds works to help congregations take on. They need to talk about the connection between their faith and the environment of protecting wildlife habitat and God's creation, and they need to also educate beyond their congregation.
One of the major challenges that we face in our effort to reach the Hillcrest community and broader East Washington community with the message of environmental activism is that many don't even have an inkling of how the environment relates to their daily life. That's why education is so important. And we feel the garden is important because many see the environment as just being an issue for tree huggers, and they don't really realize how it impacts their daily lives. But it impacts their daily lives, and it also can enhance their overall well-being.
Maybe we could encourage some of the other churches, because we have a lot of churches around here. We could find some way to bring them in. And the school down here, since we work with those, maybe we could get a group of kids who's interested in that. And the garden, that's a good learning tool for the kids.
And so education is a major area where we as a church focus and intend to focus in a greater way as we move forward.
Buddha taught that all beings, all things really, are interconnected. And so here at Kunzang Payul Choling in Maryland, we are supporting the web of life, that interconnected web, by feeding and providing shelter and clean water through our actions here in the Peace Park. The Sacred Grounds workshops really helped us to organize our efforts here.
Yes, I think a meadow could very likely get tree swallows, bluebirds.
So you have water coming up how high?
We found out that the Rainscapes program is available to us as a great resource of knowledge and experience that we can draw from on how to manage our stormwater. We need the county to help us identify places where we can do more conservation landscaping.
Further up, just try to figure out the key spots. And then we try to do a treatment train approach, so we kind of catch the water somewhere, go to the next spot, try to catch it, slow it down. With rain gardens, conservation landscape, every little bit helps.
I think that's good. You've done well. You say that's a happy plant. That's a happy plant now.
I think it's extremely important for congregations to do this work. It's where the majority of people come together, and then they can take these practices back into their own backyards, and we can really affect a lot of change that way.
Everything that we do to help wildlife actually helps people too. We need clean air, we need clean water, we need healthy soil. Everything we do to create healthy wildlife habitat helps people and wildlife. We can create an environment where both can thrive. That's the future. That's what we need to do.
And we're gonna dig a hole. How big are we gonna make our hole, Elizabeth?
Collectively, we can really create significant wildlife habitat